Hello Internet and welcome to Financial Journey. On this channel, we talk all things personal finance, and I try to bring all of you some of the financial education that I never received growing up. Today, as part of my continued efforts to track my family's personal finances, we'll be taking a look at our monthly spending for this past month. If you haven't already seen our net worth update for February, that will provide some additional context to this month's budget. I'll go ahead and link that video up top and in the description below if you'd like to take a look. As always, everything we're tracking here are our family's actual values. So, if that sounds like your cup of tea, give the like button a smash and strap in for our February 2021 spending update. As a reminder, we keep our overall budget pretty simple. As I discussed last month, overall, our goal is to save and invest at least 30% of our net income, with the remaining 70% being fair game for all of our expenses or discretionary use. That doesn't mean we have any sort of obligation to spend leftover funds, but ultimately we've agreed that we can spend it, guilt-free, as long as we've met our savings goals. As I mentioned in our net worth video, February was an interesting month with some ups and downs. From an income perspective, February is always a very exciting month in our house, as it tends to be the best month of the year, as I usually receive my annual bonus each February. This year was no exception, and our total income for the month came in at $40,300. Of course, as always, that's only a number, as that balance never actually hits my account. With old Uncle Sam skimming $11,100 off the top, we're already down 27.5% after taxes. As before, additional withholdings include $800 for our insurance expenses and $475 deposited directly into our health savings account. Moving on, our largest recurring expense is our mortgage and associated housing costs. This month was a bit lower than last month, clocking in at just over $3,000. Still not quite as low as I expected, but I suppose that's just the joys of homeownership. Honestly, it is because of such unexpected expenses that we do track our expenses in various categories. If you listen to the Afford Anything podcast with Paula Pant, you'll probably hear her say that it really doesn't matter which category we're spending in, as long as we're not spending over our total budgetary goals. However, for me, ensuring that we're not overspending on large categories like housing or vehicles will ensure that we have plenty of room in our budget for the other things we care about. Moving on, our debt payments remain the same at $800, bringing us to our personal spending. Food budget was a bit better this month at $725, but our miscellaneous budget was a bit higher due to a family emergency. Altogether, that was just over $585, which is honestly probably still a bit on the low side, as our expenses are still quite low given the limitations of the pandemic. Altogether, our total spending for the month was $6,500 after taxes, which is more or less consistent to what I anticipate our monthly spending to be. And that just leaves our savings and investments. Anticipating the bonus, we moved $13,550 into our investments between our normal withholdings for my 401k and the remainder being deposited into our regular post-tax brokerage. Analyzing our savings rate for the month, we have 33.4%, which keeps us on track for our goals. Of course, adding this all up, we still have $9,250 unaccounted for, which are what bolstered our cash reserves this month. These funds will most likely be dollar cost averaged into the market over the rest of the year to help keep us on track, as our normal monthly income doesn't necessarily allow us to keep up with the 30% gross savings rate we're targeting at our normal level of spending. Overall, outside of noting our savings rate, February is a pretty tough month to analyze, as the income is just so inconsistent with the rest of the year. So let's take a look at the year-to-date composite up through the end of February. The chart here all looks pretty similar to our monthly charts, as we're just combining the past 2 months. So far, things are looking pretty good and we're on track. Our savings rate into our investments is sitting at 33.6% of our income, and we're holding 14.5% excess in cash, which we can dollar cost average throughout the year as needed. Taxes make up a total of 26.4% of our total income, which I do expect to drop somewhat over the course of the year, mostly once we've topped off the Social Security contributions. Last year our taxes were just under 23% of our total income, and although our income will increase somewhat this year, I'm still anticipating a similar fraction. Everything else falls under 3.5% of our income, but these will ultimately rise as the February bonus gets diluted out with additional paychecks. If I were to hazard a guess, I think our ending budget for this year will look something like this, with each of these representing a rough accounting for our average monthly spending in each category, and the 6% remaining going to large, one-off expenses, be them travel, healthcare, a house project, or just additional investments. Ultimately, our savings may be a bit higher as we do have some money held in cash that we intend to transfer over to investments this year. But this is a rough estimation for the income we're gaining each and every month. And there you have it, February 2021 in the bag. Outside of some extra income, nothing particularly new to see, and so far we do appear to be on track for our goals. What about you? What are your financial goals for 2021? Am I missing anything in my analysis, or is there anything more you'd like me to dig a bit deeper into? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. It only takes a second and it is the easiest way to help out the channel. For more monthly updates and weekly uploads, consider becoming a subscriber and ring the bell to be notified of our videos. I'll see you in the next one.